go ahead and get into this. Welcome to the 40 West Wrestling Show, episode number 3. I am joined today by my co-host, head coach, Logan Meister.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
We need to get a catchprise going.
I know.
We start the show with a little "Let's get it cracking" or something.
I've been thinking about that, honestly.
Maybe we'll take some suggestions. You guys got a catchphrase for us?
We do need suggestions. Anything will help. All right.
The intro is fire. Starts off great, the intro.
I love the intro.
Yeah.
And then it's just like it goes straight into, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. But all right, so enough with all the jokes. How's it been going?
It's been going great. We're finishing up with our preseason training, our voluntary workouts, and these guys have given a lot of effort, and the attitude is phenomenal. I'd probably say one of the best we've had over the past few years. You got to hang out with the team some during the last tailgate and home football game. Just
right.
The atmosphere, the camaraderie is great. Everybody seems to be getting along pretty well, and I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it, and the guys seem to be enjoying the hard work, and we're pushing them really hard. We're having some fun too, but we're getting after it.
So, homecoming is a week away. Season is approaching.
Yes,
What
sir.
What is it so far that you've been having them doing? What have been like the biggest standout so far?
So recently we started retesting. So right at the beginning of our preseason workouts, we did some tests. We did a 4-lap test, which we do around the soccer field. It's about 1.2 miles or something like that. I think Brandon Harrison did it on his Apple Watch a couple years ago, or his Fitbit or something, and measured it for us. So we did a 4-lap time, pull-up max, just body weight, strict, no kicking and stuff, arms all the way extended. Then we did squat max, deadlift max, and bench press for about their body weight, and went for max reps. So the other day we went and we retested our 4-lap times. So I want to kind of touch on some of the guys who I thought did really well. And so the top 3 times for our 4-lap test, number 1, we have Tyler Ramirez, sophomore out of Texas, with the fastest time, 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Dude was cooking, getting around those laps. Number 2, we got big man Braden Holmesy, a 197-pounder, coming in second place, which is pretty impressive.
Oh yeah.
Senior out of North Carolina with 6 minutes and 29 seconds.
You always love to see the big guys do good at running.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen very often. We have a tie for third. So we had them at the same time. We have John Ward, sophomore out of North Carolina, Hayden Funk, junior out of Pennsylvania. So they're tied at third with the same time, 6 minutes and 36 seconds. But Hayden told me that John got him by an inch, so I put John in front of him. And then I'll touch on some of the most improved times. Over 4 or 5 weeks of training, these guys improved their 4-lap times. Cullen Nash Cleek from Grundy, Virginia, he improved his time by 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So pretty impressive for him to make that jump, make that change, and either he was just really, really out of shape before, or he worked really, really hard, and I think it was a little bit of a combination of both.
Yeah.
Cullen,
he's a hard worker.
Yeah, he's been grinding, man, making a lot of changes, and the changes that he's made over the 5 weeks is impressive.
Right.
Now we've got Elijah Martin out of North Carolina, improved his time by 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Also very impressive. And then number 3 and most improved was Rayshawn Dixon, another guy from North Carolina, improved his time by 1 minute and 26 seconds, and he's a heavyweight. So it's great to see those big guys improving on their times, right? And what's even more impressive is Ray had a banged up ankle for the second test. So he's like limping through the finish line and still crushed his time from the last time. So love to see that.
Yep.
And over to the pull-ups. We had some impressive pull-ups here. We had Caleb Horn from Grundy, Virginia, 31 pull-ups. Straight. Maxing out 31.
And what weight is he?
He's a 25.
Okay.
So probably a little bit of a body weight advantage there.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we had to max out on pull-ups, I think the most that I got was 15. And I mean, obviously, just that heavyweight. I don't know. Once you get past like 6 or 7, it's just like, all right, now I need to calm down. But
it's a lot of weight to be moving around.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. Pull-ups is one of those workouts you can't go without it. You know, you cannot go without it, especially in the sport of wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a crucial for it's a good sign for strength in wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Use your back and lats so much.
Yeah.
Pulling and holding on to guys and so let's see. Number 2, we have Mason Rogers from Virginia with 27 pull-ups. Another freshman. Both those guys are freshmen. And then coming in third, we've got John Ward again with 26 pull-ups. Pretty impressive. And we had a bunch of guys with 25, 24 pull-ups. So a lot of guys with really impressive numbers. And we'll check on the most improved list. So after 4 or 5 weeks of training, these guys improved their pull-ups by, see, Caleb Horn, he improved by 13 pull-ups from his first test. So pretty impressive for him to put on the strength there.
Yeah,
we have
definitely.
Charles Tisby, improved by 10 pull-ups, which is great to see. And he's an older guy too. It's usually you don't see big jumps like that from some of the older guys because they've been through the training for a while. Yeah. But that's awesome to see that he's going to continue to keep growing. And then we have a 3-way tie for third. We have Caden Dalton out of Pennsylvania, plus 9 pull-ups. Sam Slate, another Virginia guy, plus 9 pull-ups. And then John on the list again, John Ward, plus 9 pull-ups. So really happy with those guys.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's always, I think, stuck out to me was just like how people lift, how people work out, and which workouts that they focus on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know a lot of guys who, you know, used to go in the weight room and it's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this workout, I'm gonna do that workout. Go do some pull-ups, man. Yeah. If you can't do a pull-up, keep trying.
Right.
You know, that's where you get a lot of that strength to pull somebody's leg in when you're deep on a shot. And I mean, they're just like hipping into you. You know, you got to pull it in. And I'm sorry, but bench press every single day, and you know what I'm saying, doing all these other, you know, random workouts. I mean, it's good to stay in shape.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I definitely feel like there are certain workouts that, you know, including pull-ups, that definitely make the difference. You know.
Yeah, they transition better to wrestling. You actually use those muscles a lot. And on your point with the heavyweights, man, it was exciting to see. We had a few that came in and they couldn't even get a pull-up on the first test day, and they came back on the second test and knocked a few pull-ups out. That's great to see. That's not easy, pulling up 270 pounds up to the bar. So.
Well, it's also one of those workouts. It challenges you in so many different ways. All right, one, your muscle endurance. Second, I mean, you have to mentally like put yourself into it. Like, all right, I'm gonna do these pull-ups. You know, yeah. I used to hate pull-ups, but you know, further down the line, I just got better at it because I had to realize, like, all right, I'm not going to escape it. You know, I mean, you're here. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, simple workout, stance, and motion. You can't escape stuff like that. You know, and especially within our sport, it's just like that's one of those things that it just might make the difference. You know, so it's almost like a must that you do it.
Yeah, and it's one of those workouts that every team at every level across the country of wrestling, everybody's doing pull-ups. You have to be good at pull-ups.
Yeah.
And I like seeing in the weight room too, just guys progressing. It's fun. Guys enjoying their time in the weight room.
Yeah.
Taking it serious. You get to see them grow through 4 years. I mean, even guys that I wrestled with. You remember Austin Smith graduated last year. He joined our lifting group as a freshman. Dude could barely do a pull-up.
Yeah.
Could barely do a dip. And then after 4 years, now he's leading a lifting group when he's a senior and trying to show freshmen how to do pull-ups and dips. And he's over there doing weighted pull-ups with the 45, 50-pound dumbbell and weighted dips. And it's like, man, yeah, I remember showing this guy how to get one pull-up.
Right, yeah,
like,
how to work out.
How do we work on getting a couple reps in and building up? And then now he's showing guys how to do that. And pretty great to see. And then you got guys like Levi Engelman, who I've loved to see progress in the weight room. Kills it in the wrestling room. Lifting wasn't always his thing. I remember when I came in after my year at McDaniel to start coaching, it's kind of one of my projects was, how do I get this guy to like the rest of the weight room? Because if he can work out, get some strength, it's going to make a big difference for him.
Right.
And just slowly working with them on form, technique, and hyping them up and getting them to improve and see those improvements and how they affect his wrestling. And
he became an All-American.
Yeah, and he's become one of the leaders in the weight room. And he still has some fun, right? But he gets after it and shows these guys how to do it. And you can tell he focused because he's got great form.
Right.
And some of the complicated lifts too, especially deadlift. People might think it's a simple lift because you're just
it's not
grabbing a weight. You just grab a weight, and pick it up. But there's a lot that goes into it. And he's got great form on it. So
yeah, you can mess your back up doing deadlift.
Yeah,
there's been plenty of times where I thought I'm about to just snatch it up.
Right.
Wake up the next morning and I'm wondering why my back is obliterated.
Right. That's we try and focus on form a lot.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why I studied my master's degree in science and got some certifications as well. It's just very important. We want to get strong, but if we're hurting ourselves in the weight room, it's going to set us back. And especially when we're doing things like deadlift and squat with the barbell, form and technique is crucial to keep yourself from getting hurt. If you're trying to pull up 405 on a deadlift and your back's doing one of these, it's not going to be good for you.
I say you should probably stop.
Yeah, right.
Take one of the 45s off.
Right.
Just calm down, buddy.
You don't want to try and muscle through that and then end up popping a vertebrae or something. And
I've tried that. Well, I didn't pop a vertebrae, but I remember it was one time that we were maxing out, and I'd never strained this hard in my life, dude, and I just couldn't get it. And the feeling afterwards is like, all right, you're lightheaded from straining so much, but then it's just like an instant pain, just like going through your back from where you tried to bow it so much trying to lift this weight.
It feels like somebody just grabs your spine right after.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God,
dude,
what did I just do?
You. But
yeah, I made that mistake too many times. It's hard with the wrestling mindset. You're like, I just want to get the weight. I will find a way to get the weight. And it's hard to hold yourself back. And it's easy for me to tell the guys to hold themselves back, and then I get in there and lift, and I'm like, I think I could get this. Let me try and see if I can push it a little more.
But it is good that you do have that expertise, you know what I'm saying, in sports management or, exercise,
Science, yeah.
But, I feel like I was getting at was just, that's what makes the difference. And a lot of guys training is just like the structure, even when, lifting. Because you see a lot of teams who they might just get a workout packet and just, hey, go do this. I'll see you, during actual practice, But, you're holding them accountable. Not only that, but the leaders on the team hold themselves accountable, and then they can hold everybody else accountable.
Yeah.
Which, in turn makes everybody start, coming together, and it's like, okay, we have to take this serious.
Yep.
It's making a difference. Obviously on there, you've seen the difference.
Yep.
And I'm glad that, honestly, you did that, because I don't know if we've, in the past, really focused on where you started at and, what you got to.
Yeah.
But maybe, you don't really think about it, okay, I did, lift this much before preseason or, during preseason. And then at the end of the year, I'm lifting this much. And you don't really, think about it. But, as you just, keep, doing stuff like that, the first time that you had tested them, okay, they did this much. Second time you tested them, they did this much. Okay, well, hey, look how much you jumped.
Right.
So focus on that, think about that, and just go from there.
Yeah, I'm excited to. One, I'm glad that we're doing this because I think you're right. We didn't do this a whole lot when we were in school, and we did some max testing, and we would test.
Yeah.
You don't really. It wasn't as structured. You didn't write the numbers. You didn't see them later and be like, oh wow, I improved by 30 pounds on this lift, whatever.
Yeah.
So trying to make sure it's structured. We did weight checks too, which I think is important for testing. We're doing pull-ups and stuff. So if your weight drops or your weight goes up, and then you also see that your pull-ups went up. If you gain some muscle mass and your pull-ups improved, that's a great sign.
Yeah.
Too. So I think I'm excited for the spring when we start doing these tests again to see where, especially the freshmen, because they make the biggest jumps, to see where they started at in the fall and where they end at in the spring. I think that'll be exciting to see.
Definitely.
Just along with their improvement on the mats, it's exciting to see. When you put work in and you see results, it feels good.
Yep, love to see it.
Yep.
All right, so homecoming is coming up next weekend. What you got for us for homecoming?
Yeah, let's actually right before we get on to homecoming, Well, I want to talk about a couple other things before that,
Okay.
and with some homecoming stuff. So, the other week we went over to Virginia Tech, worked a fundraiser for them. We were
Oh
scanning,
yeah, how could I forget about that?
yeah, scanning tickets and being ushers, helping people find their seats and stuff. And that was a great time for us. Earned some money. We had the whole team out there working. We had some of the women's wrestlers join us so they could earn some money for their program as well. And we got to get inside the stadium and watch the game. So some work and then some fun as well. We were
Right.
getting paid for, and it was
Yeah,
great.
I think I seen that on a couple people's Snapchats. I was at
Yeah.
work and I was just like, man, this is not fair.
Yeah, and then we had a couple lucky guys. I think who was it? Ray, George, and Tyler, I believe. They got selected to go up and work in the president's box
Oh, okay.
up there. So they had a nice view. I went up and supervised them for a little while. To,
You should have told them like
Get that
plot
way.
twist. We got practice with Tech.
yeah.
Everybody bring your shoes.
Right.
What?
Oh, no, coach. No, that was a good time. We earned some money for our program and had some fun along the way. I think that's important. So, and then after that, I think this was last week, we did a little media day. So we got our new singlets in for the season. We've got 2 of them here, so you guys can see. Took a few serious pictures, and then we took a bunch of goofy group photos that were.
Those are always the best.
They were cracking me up. Those guys are funny. They had a good time in here, and excited we get to use all that stuff on our social media and create good graphics. And shout out to Taylor Chitwood and Sports Information for coming over and spending some time with us for that. We appreciate that. Next up, so next Tuesday, October 12th, we have our Giving Tuesday.
Okay.
That's a big deal for us. It's one of our big fundraisers for the year. We have a goal of reaching 100 donors. So one of our goals as a staff is to just create a wider net of support for us. So we're trying to just get more individual donors each year and just build up that group of support.
Oh, yeah.
So we're trying to get 100 donors in one day. So that'll be a tough challenge, but to help motivate people, we've got a very generous guy that's going to match each individual donation with $100. So say, Tyreek, you donate $10,
Uh-huh.
somebody's putting in 100. I donate $25, somebody's putting in 100.
Okay.
Somebody donates 50, putting in 100. So that's going to help us. Now, if
Yeah.
we hit our goal of 100 donors, that's 10K.
Right.
Plus all those 100 donations. So very important for us. It's one of the big fundraisers that we do. And this allows us to create the opportunities for these guys to grow as people, as wrestlers,
Mhm.
right? And things like traveling to Florida
Yeah.
in December, late December, we get to travel to Florida, wrestle Augsburg, and who else is down there? Baldwin Wallace, and a bunch of tough teams up down at the Citrus Invitational.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. I remember that tournament.
yeah, that stuff costs money.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to give that opportunity to these guys and see the best competition in the country
Mhm.
is crucial.
Yeah.
One, for obvious reasons, the wrestling. It's going to improve the wrestling. 2, we get a break from being in the mountains in Virginia, and we go down in Florida. We spend, I think, 1 or 2 extra days after the tournament.
Mhm.
We still get some workouts on the beach in, but it is a little bit of a vacation for us. We get a day or 2 to relax.
Yeah.
Get a little reset before that spring semester. We'll really start getting after it, and that's that postseason run in the second semester. So crucial for our guys, and along with that, I mean, last year was just a great opportunity for us to see how our fundraising helps our guys.
Yeah.
We got to go to the NCAA canceled national championships on us,
Mhm.
so very disappointed in them for that. But the NWCA, National Wrestling Coaches Association, stepped up, hosted a tournament for us, and we were able to bring all 10 of our starters, which, man, that's a life-changing experience right there.
Yeah.
To get out to nationals and, 1, see the level of competition, 2, to be in the arena. It's a big arena.
Yeah.
And that prepares guys for the next time they're at a big event like the Nationals.
Yeah. It gives them that opportunity to really make an impression.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those tournaments, and this is why I love the fact that we do have the opportunity to go to all these big tournaments. It's like, if you're going to wrestle and if you're going to put it all out there, this has to be it.
Yep.
And that's even when we was in Iowa last year at Nationals. When I was talking to Ray, it was just like, just put it all out there. Leave it
Yeah.
all out there.
Yeah, see
You
where
know,
you're at.
don't think so much about it. This is it. You know, it's not like, oh, if something happens in this match, then you got to see this guy, you know, next week, or just like you trained your hardest for this.
Mhm.
Go after it.
Yeah, I think Ray's a perfect example of it too, because he had a great show in there.
Yeah.
It went 2-2 or 3-2 at the
2-2.
2-2. And lost some close matches to some really tough guys. And
To the number 1 seed.
right, yeah, and he got to see where he was at when he really gives it his all in the matches. And
But that was when I told him that was,
Yeah.
you know, right before that match. It's just like, you don't have to think as hard as what you feel like you do about it.
Yeah.
You know how to wrestle,
right,
you know, so just go out there and wrestle.
yeah,
That's
just
the
let
only
it,
thing.
let it
It's-
go, let it fly.
It sounds so cliche, and a lot of wrestling sayings sound cliche, but it really does make sense. You know, just go out there and wrestle.
Yeah, and you spend all that time thinking, you're not moving, you're
Right,
not
mhm.
acting. You need to act instead of think. And yeah, it was great to see Ray kind of come out of his shell on the mat up
Yeah.
there. And you know, that's an opportunity where you don't always get that each year. You know, you got to
Mm-hmm.
qualify top 3 in regions, so it's great especially great for all of our freshmen
Yeah,
right away to be able to get into a national tournament.
yeah.
That's
Just to get a
eye-opening.
taste of that feeling.
Yeah, because then you know, all right, so now I know what I need to do
Mm-hmm.
to wrestle with these guys for next year.
And it's going to push you to want to make it,
Mhm.
you know, even more next year, as
Yeah.
opposed to, you know, oh, well, I'm going to make it to regionals, and, oh, God, this guy is hard. This guy, you know, I know he's
Right.
pretty tough. So, you know, I don't know. This might not be a good tournament.
Mhm.
But you've wrestled at nationals before, so you know what the end goal is. You
Yeah.
know, this isn't where you stop.
And a lot of us, I know myself, it took me a couple tries
Mhm.
going out there before I came back with the trophy. So a lot of guys got that out of the way. They got their first trip out of the way.
Yeah.
So that anxiety is going to go away that second time when they're out at nationals. And huge. And even for you too, coaching experience.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and coach at the national tournament, which is
Yeah.
great for
That
you.
was a great experience for me.
So now, like, you know, going to coach at Southeast Open, Cougar Open, that
Mhm.
stuff is going to be just easy,
Right.
stress-free. Like, you're ready to coach at the highest level
Yeah.
for national tournaments. So
I think one of the biggest things also is seeing some of the guys where they needed to improve.
yeah,
And I mean, we had a lot of guys who improved at the national tournament.
Mhm.
You know, some matches may not have gone, you know, the way that they wanted, but they made this small adjustment.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, they knew that they had to put themselves in a not more mature place, but in a better place than, say, if, you know, you're going into it like it's the first tournament of the year, and, you know, oh, you're a freshman and you're just wrestling like you're green to the sport, you know?
Right.
I feel like a lot of our guys, especially since we didn't have much of a season last year,
yeah,
they saw within those couple competitions that we had where they needed to improve.
Mhm.
By the time nationals came, I didn't doubt anybody could
Right.
do good, you know?
Yeah. We definitely had our issues with the COVID last year, and just thankful too for our administration for letting us go out there. You know, there were some schools that weren't allowed to go.
Yeah.
Their administration didn't let them travel, so very thankful that we got the opportunity to go out there. You know, so thankful for our administration and our supporters.
And them.
Mhm.
And that's what brings that team bond together.
Yeah, I think we had 9 placers there.
Mhm.
3 of us qualified, but it goes on to what you were saying earlier, that if you didn't get your chance to make it, guys were still battling back through
Yeah.
to get those team points.
Yep.
And it was because of that is why we won. You know?
And even the 5th place match.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know that this is where it ends.
Yeah, your season's over there.
But that's honestly like the match that kind of like shows, all right, do you really want it, or
Right.
are you just butthurt?
Yeah, that's
like,
a-
are you going to be selfish in this situation? You know, are you going to, you know, fight for what's on the front of your singlet,
That's
what's
a
on the back
pride.
of your
Yeah, it's a
singlet?
pride match right there.
Mhm.
What are you going to do? Because you're not going to the national tournament. Your season ends here. How are you going to finish?
Right.
How are you going to end the year and go into next season? Or for some of those seniors, how are you going to end your career? You
Yeah.
going to end it on top or
Yep.
or go out on bottom? So, and I think we had a lot of guys. I think the guys that we had in the 5th place match walked away with wins.
Yeah.
So that was great to see. But yeah, I think that's regional championship 2017. That's my best moment here.
Well, that's about all that I got for this episode. You got anything else, Meister?
No, that's about it. Just reminder, next Tuesday is Giving Tuesday. We appreciate all your support, and I think it's very valuable and helps our guys grow. So next Tuesday, if you guys can, just give us some support. We love it and appreciate it. That's all I got for us.
All right, sounds good. 40 West Wrestling.